I joined the biggest game dev event in history with my friend David.
Yo, what's up, YouTube?
And my burb wife.
Faith.
The event, GMTK Game Jam 2023. The biggest game jam ever. Over 6,900 entries. Nice. The problem is, none of us have ever made a video game before, and we only had 48 hours to make a game from start to finish, or else we would be completely locked out of submitting our game and we would be considered game devs'
biggest losers.
Did we make it? Did we learn anything about game development? Did our brains completely melt? Yes, the answer to that last question is yes.
I got my Jimmy Dean breakfast biscuit. I got my burb wife. We're gonna make a game.
Immediately, I hopped on a Discord call with David and started spitballing ideas.
Try to attack, approach, do the Dougie.
So Dr. Mirantis is trapped in the past, right?
Yeah.
So the objective is to get him back.
And he's stuck in a tar pit.
He's stuck in a tar.
Wait, what if it's like Mario? Where it's like you have to find the princess, you have to find the professor first. So you're finding him, but like you go to one area, it's like, oh, thanks for saving me. There's like a random guy in a tar pit.
Almost immediately, Burb Wife had an amazing idea for how the mechanics of the games ought to work. She suggested we do something like Paper Mario, where the characters are 2D sprites in a 3D world. The main mechanic of the game would be that your character flips around and becomes the reverse or the opposite of what they already were. David and I immediately latched onto this idea, and after some more brainstorming, we found inspiration in a place that we really didn't expect. It's honestly such a testament to Pac-Man that its game design remains relevant even to this day. One of the core mechanics in Pac-Man are the big dots and the ghosts. When you eat the big dot, you turn from the prey into the predator hunting down the ghost that used to be hunting you. This idea seemed perfect for this game jam, reversing the roles of predator and prey. Whoa, what's that? Up there, it's... Oh my gosh, it's knowledge. This was super important. We decided on an idea early and we stuck with it, and I think that was an incredibly good choice. A game jam, especially one with as tight a deadline as 48 hours, simply doesn't afford for extended ideation. A game that hasn't spent enough time in the oven is still more delicious than no game at all. And if you spend too long ideating, you risk not finishing in the allotted time and becoming game devs. I actually think this extends to non-game jam games too. Hello, Chippy. Starting a video game is a daunting task, and it's really easy to convince yourself that you need to have everything perfectly planned out before you even touch the computer. But if you spend all your time pontificating, then that game idea is going to die with you, because you never did anything about that idea. It's not like you're gonna stop having good ideas after your fingies hit the keys. All right, back to game dev. With our idea locked in, we got straight to work. I started on the main character, David started on the enemy AI, and Burb Wife started on the art. This could be our magic bell.
Why is it a bell though? I mean, are we thinking about lore implications here? Is this magical? Is it?
It's a magic bell.
There's so much to explore.
I know.
A tree.
There's a cooking pot.
Bower Knights was known for its cooking mechanics.
Application is not zero. Hello?
Damn.
You don't have to laugh.
No, it was funny, so I don't really see why you wouldn't laugh. Ooh, a little spindy spin.
And maybe I can add some little particle effects when it's spinning and make it all cute.
Alright, I'm assuming I don't expect our AI to need to be super complex. In about 4 hours, we'd gone from absolutely nothing except an idea to having the basics of a game. I was feeling overly confident, and that's when I made my first critical mistake. Wait, no,
I don't want this learning. No, I don't want it. I played a game of League of Legends. No, the mistake was not playing League of Legends, although I know some people think that is the case. The mistake was playing a game of League at approximately 5:15 p.m. on Friday when we were doing a game jam where we only had 48 hours to make a game. The only game development experience I have is making Blackfeather, which isn't anywhere close to done. We have 48 hours, and I feel good enough to take a break and play an ARAM? But hey, I know that you, person watching, I know you have had a time when you had to do something and instead you played COD or League or Fortnite. Maybe your semester final was the next morning and you should have been studying, but instead you got a 5-man squad with the boys. Leave a comment and tell me the worst thing that you've skipped because you wanted to play a game of Valorant or League or something, because it's going to make me feel better about myself. David has spent the last few hours crash coursing Unreal. Yes. I forgot to tell you, David has only used Unreal once or twice in his entire life. Mad props to him, even if he did only come to get free pizza. Meanwhile, Burbwife is almost done with the walking animation for our main character, who we decided was going to be a cat, who goes back in time and turns into a saber-toothed tiger. The reason that Kitna goes back in time is because Kitna belongs to a mad scientist named Dr. Mirandus, who invents time travel. But Dr. Mirandus accidentally gets stuck in the past and releases a furious pack of dire wolves into the present day. Kitna has to travel back in time to turn everything in the world prehistoric, including herself, while bringing the dire wolves forward in time and making them little puppers. But you only have about 30 seconds before the time travel unwinds and the dire wolves once again become the predators. I ended up eventually going to bed at about 1:30 a.m., satisfied with the work we got done on day one.
It is currently 2:17 a.m. on, I suppose, Saturday. First game jam I've ever done, and so far it's going pretty well. We managed to get some of the AI for the wolves done. We managed to get the main character walking around. We've got a slick spinning animation. Ugh, my back hurts a little from goblin moding in my chair all day. I'm optimistic that we're gonna have something done. It may not be good, but it's gonna be something. That's it. We'll check back in the morning.
After a brief chat with David, we decided I would be taking on the enemy AI because he just didn't have enough experience with Unreal. David would find all of the assets we need, make sure all of the assets were in Unreal correctly, and then start designing the level for our game. I promptly got to work on the enemy AI, and I immediately remembered how annoying and unruly. Listen. Unreal AI is so finicky that I want to ball it up, smush it real tight, smush it down until it condenses into a singular point and creates a black hole and consumes all of the matter that make up the AI of Unreal, and then destroy it, because that is the only way to destroy matter according to the conservation of mass, because I don't want it to exist. Okay, maybe I'm just dumb. I write enterprise level software for a living, and I have never had this problem, that I am using a tool that is so buggy that I just cannot understand what is going on and why my code does not work. I might just be an idiot. I hope I'm not. Oh God, am I an idiot? I spent the majority of the day on this AI code, and I got it to the point where it was working-ish. The AI patrols a certain area indicated by a spline, basically just a line that represents a route that it walks around with specific points on the route that it goes to. The AI always looks in the direction that it's walking, indicated by this little triangle on the ground. If the AI detects the player inside its cone, it starts chasing the player and the cone turns red. As soon as the player breaks the wolf's line of sight, the wolf will run to the player's last known location, look around a little bit, and then return back to its patrol. It's a simple AI flowchart, but for some reason, it just doesn't work properly. Anyways, Burbwife spent the entire day drawing cats and wolves, which was really awesome, and she did a great job. I could not draw anywhere near this good, and I love her very much, and I'm not being forced to. David spent most of the day collecting art, getting the environment set up, and making sure that all of our set pieces could flip seamlessly between present day and prehistoric times. By about 6 p.m., I was starting to work on the basic combat mechanics. We took a break and we had some pizza.
It's the pizza time.
You filming?
You can't have my pizza.
After pizza, I finished up the combat mechanics and David finished up the demo level. I then got started on the menuing while David started tackling all the sound effects in the game. Oh, hey, it's another one. Oh, hey, I got it. Oh, yes. This one is a bit counterintuitive because I think it actually goes against what a lot of developers say, or maybe not against what they say, but against how their words are interpreted. A lot of advice was not to add sound effects, not to add fancy animations until you've proven out the prototype of a game. You want to see if what you're making is actually going to be fun and engaging. Now, I can totally get behind this, like it makes perfect sense. I think the point it misses is that game juice is tied to the identity of the game. A great example I can think of is Enter the Gungeon. Enter the Gungeon would not be fun if not for all of the crazy particles and crazy sound effects and all the crazy camera shake. Frankly, I think it would be kind of boring if they didn't execute that well, but it feels so good to run around the Gungeon because they executed. And I'll tell you, even just adding like free stock sounds made our game just feel more alive. It was really honestly magical. David was ultimately the first to conk out at about 4 a.m. I really wanted to finish the menuing and make sure that our game was playable so that there was a main menu, you could click play, there was a game over screen, there was a win screen. So I got that done and ultimately conked out at about 5:30. Burbwife stayed up till 7 a.m. working on the art for the beginning of the game. I just want it to be known, this was not me making a game. This was us making a game. Everybody on this team did such an amazing job, and I'm just so glad that I could be working with David and Burbwife to make this game. Thank you guys so much for helping me with this. David and I both wake up at about 9 a.m., and with the game jam deadline drawing closer, there was only one thing left to do.
I'm on the page.
Last moments, what are you saying? What are your thoughts?
I'm saying I need to be recording on OBS so that I can get multiple angles for the vlog. I'm ready. Let's go. GMTK.exe. Executable for Windows. Save.
We did not make a game that was beautiful. We did not make a game that was free of bugs. In fact, there were tons of bugs. It was really ugly. And honestly, in its current state, it's not that fun. Although I do think with some tweaking, we could make it into a really interesting stealth and search and destroy game. But I never expected to make the annual GMTK video in this game jam. And that really wasn't the point. The point was that I had a blast with David and Burbwife making this game over 48 hours. It was an intense project, and that was really fun. I'm excited to use these tricks and tips that I've learned in Blackfeather and hopefully share them on this channel. We're not gonna win the game jam, but the real prize is the friends we made along the way. If you want to follow my progress on the game that I'm actually making, a detective game called Blackfeather, then you can follow this channel and see the devlog updates. I don't have an outro, and this video is not sponsored because I'm not a big YouTuber.